Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passager. It's that Mother's Day time of year, a time when we think about and pay tribute to our mothers. Not all of those tributes, though, are goopy greeting card sentiments. Here's Wilderness Sarchild's poem, Visitation, from her book, Old Women Talking. In my dream, I feel her spirit hand combing through my hair, comforting as a lullaby. How does she know that I still need to be cradled through the night by the one who carried me in her womb over 60 years ago? Visitation, Wilderness Sarchild. Passager published Wilderness's book Old Women Talking in 2017. Next, two poems that wonder how mothers felt about their own lives. Lou Rife said she often pictures her mother in her kitchen, packing lunches, busy at the stove, finding great joy in listening to the stories and music of the radio, often singing along in a pure soprano voice. She said she always wondered if her mother had fantasies of a more glamorous life than as a housewife and mother of four in a small mill town, taking care of a grumpy mother-in-law. Here's her poem, Radio Waves. It's 8 a.m., and the turquoise zenith tuned in to 1020 KDKA on a white shelf next to the humming GE fridge rings out the good to the last drop jingle, assuring us that Maxwell House is the morning beverage of choice. A big band strikes up a chord. An alto sax interrupts the hush fogging the kitchen after Dad leaves with his aluminum lunch bucket, and Mom feels a bit piqued with her mother-in-law, who waits for her oatmeal with raisins in silence before returning to her room to mumble her prayers for the dead. By 9:30, Arthur Godfrey is strumming his ukulele, my mother crooning with Perry Como's Round and Round, and soon she's stomping on the thin blue linoleum with the toot-a-toot chorus of Julius La Rosa's Accampare, bumping the ironing board piled with wrinkled shirts and pants. The mint green phone on the wall rings. Annie from next door is bringing over her Chesterfields to blow smoke rings over a cup of black coffee, grumbling about her no-good, never-working husband, while my mother nimbly shifts the focus to the three Andrews sisters harmonizing in the background. As dusk approaches, close to dinner time, after peeling potatoes and onions, putting the meatloaf in the oven, Mom follows the clues of Joe Friday and Johnny Dollar, wondering if these charming, impatient investigators, with their baritone sureness, had wives. Lou Rife's poem, Radio Waves, from Passager, issue 68. Lou teaches creative writing and poetry to homeless women in D.C. Diana Morley said she regrets the fact that so many women of her generation have gotten lost in housework, washing and mopping, instead of spending time at activities of the heart. Here's Diana Morley's poem, Mark My Words. A name and an apron, it comes down to that. My name, what I stand behind. I'm someone, no one else. My apron, my shield, cordons off the gripping vortex while filling a top-loading washer. We women, wiser, draw new lines of separation, still cover our mouths, still cover laughing or crying. A name and an apron can't do it all. Diana Morley's poem, Mark My Words, from Passager's 2018 Poetry Contest issue. Ilene Millman said that bits of information she collects from newspapers, radio, and random conversations often find themselves mixed into the dough of a poem like chocolate chips. She'd been noticing her grandchildren, with their heads bent over cell phones and computers, and when she stumbled across some information about the phenomenon known as text neck, the cookies practically baked themselves. Text Neck by Ilene Millman. Sit up straight, my mother said time and again when she spotted me, moon-shaped arc, angled over book or yellow pad. What she meant was, skeleton and skin, our bodies accept habitual placement. She'd be delighted to find new evidence pregnant with implication. Plunked now in existential twilight glowing from the faces of tiny screens, butts planted, heads canted forward, we are growing spikes, like a horn, a hook, a beak, stalactites at the base of our skulls just above the neck. Penetration of technology leaving a distinctive sign-off? Erich Fromm said we shape our tools and then our tools shape us. My mother said to expect something from your flesh and senses, you need to keep your head up. Text Neck, Ilene Millman, also from Passenger, issue 68. To buy Wilderness Sarchild's book Old Women Talking, subscribe to or learn more about Passenger and its commitment to writers over 50, go to PassengerBooks.com. You can download Burning Bright from Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, and various other podcast apps. For Kendra, Mary, Christine, Roseanne, and the rest of the Passenger staff, I'm John Shore.